the Fantasy Flow Podcast. Failed to make a big move at the trade deadline. Welcome to the Fantasy Flow Podcast. Andy is sporting a wonderful cowboy hat. Perhaps backwards? I don't know.
Oh. No, it's good. We're good. We're good here. We're good.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What's got you in a Western sort of mood?
Oh, boy. Well, this hat is my dad's. I'm going to be switching hats. I got my Seahawks season ticket holder hat that is way too small for me. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the Seahawks. I'm pleased. I'm very, very pleased with the current NFL picture.
Yeah, dude. That Seahawks game was nuts. Yeah, you mentioned your family's season ticket holders. I was fortunate enough to snag a couple of those seats from you. I was there at the game, and boots on the ground. And let me tell you, folks, Seahawks defense is really good. They are really, really good. This has been like 3 games in a row now that the Seahawks defense has just like dominated, and it's kind of like a rotating door. Like, take a couple of pieces out, each game. Julian Love missed a few games to start the year. Now then Witherspoon, and now it's like there's no one Jenga piece that the tower falls over. It's deep, it is talented at every level. Linebacker's been dealing with a lot of issues, but even then, like, guys just who were kind of no names just step in and have great games. Tayo Kuda is like a safety who's just like out of nowhere coming up with huge plays. But man, yeah, this Sunday, the stars were Tyrese Knight and Dexter Lawrence. I've never heard of 2 players combining for a strip sack, fumble recovery for a touchdown in the same game. And it felt like it was back to back. It was in the same half for sure. But Andy, what was it like watching that game?
Yeah, I love the fact that this team can lean on each other. One week, it's the offense taking over and dominating. The next, it's the defense scoring 2 touchdowns, allowing the offense to just go on autopilot to the point where they fumble on the 1-yard line and give the opposing team, basically hand them a touchdown, and it just doesn't even matter. Doesn't even affect the game, the score. It's just, you gotta love it. You gotta love the offense, Clint Kubiak. It's everything's rolling. Everything's going the exact opposite way I thought it was going to go this year. And hell, if we go 500 the rest of the way out, we're still an 11-win team.
Ooh.
Like, am I going to be upset at that? Hell no.
Yeah, last year we won 10 games, and that wasn't even enough to make the playoffs. And it's looking like something similar is going to happen this year. This week we're not looking at the playoff picture. That's probably next week. We'll take another look at the playoff picture. But lots of competitive teams in the NFC, and yeah, I'm just so thrilled that the Seahawks are 7-2. Yeah, I love what you said about the offense looking great, the defense looking great. One game, it's going to be one. The other game, if the offense is needed, it'll be the other. Yeah, it's Sam Darnold attempted 12 passes in this game.
Crazy.
It's nuts. He completed 10 passes for plenty of points, all in the first half. But yeah, no, it was just it was a wild first half. The game was over. I talked about last week how the game felt over at halftime. This game, so many thoughts. Just watching Jacoby Brissett out there run for his life and throw balls to bounce off Marvin Harrison's hands. I'm like, I feel like all these athletes are overpaid, and I know the market is what it is, and I'm trying to fight that, but like watching Jacoby Brissett run around out there, I'm like, man, that guy doesn't get paid enough. I don't care how much he's getting paid. Like, that guy, he does not want to be out there. Like, no one envies what he has to go through. He's just facing so much pressure so quickly, has no shot to get anything going. And yeah, they get some points in the second half because the Seahawks just kind of gift them some short fields. But yeah, like, the game was just obviously over by then. Andy, I want to flip it to you, though. Last point on the Seahawks. they haven't beaten a ton of good teams. We beat the Steelers and we beat the Jaguars, both of whom would be in the playoffs in the AFC if the season ended today. But like we haven't really beaten a top tier team, and we go down to LA on Sunday to play the 7-2 Rams. So where are you at? And I know we'll preview week 11, but just on the criticism that's out there that, oh, who have the Seahawks really played?
I get it. We lost to, at the time, the 3-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We lose to San Fran week 1. Hey, we got placed with the AFC South and the NFC South this year. We have dominated both divisions minus Tampa Bay. We can't change our schedule. This is what was put in front of us, and we've won the games that we've needed to win. I've told you this before with Geno Smith, we would have lost a couple of these games. We would have lost the game to Houston. We would have lost the game to Arizona in overtime back in week 4, excuse me. So hey, this is now the beginning of our journey here. We play the Rams twice till the end of the year. We have to play San Fran in week 18. We play Minnesota, and the big one, we play the Colts at home in week 15, December 14th. I mean, what a great rest of the schedule the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it in the week 11 preview, but yeah, I like our chances against pretty much anyone.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that part of the schedule where we actually get to see the Seahawks up against a really good team. There were a ton of great games this weekend, not just in Seattle. I want to talk about the morning game. Let's talk about how the Colts outlasted the Falcons over across the pond. It was the total Jonathan Taylor show. I mean, I have Jonathan Taylor in 2 leagues, 2 of my 4 leagues. Those were the 2 leagues I won. And it was as simple as that. I mean, they could not stop the man. He was out of his mind. And it still went to overtime. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, yeah, Andy, how did this happen? How did the Falcons hang around for as long as they did? What do we make of it?
I have no idea. Honestly, I'm like, how is Atlanta even in this game still? What are they doing that's so effective? That's so that what are they doing better that the Colts are doing? They're not running the ball better. They're not really passing the ball that much better. Do they just have a better number 1 wide receiver? Is their defense just a little bit more talented? Maybe those were the answers. I couldn't come up with one. Drake London, maybe that's the answer of why they're in this game for as long as they are.
Yeah, Drake London, he had more receiving yards than the rest of the team combined.
Oh my gosh,
so
frustrating.
It was just a one-man show, and I don't know how much of work he did against Sauce Gardner specifically. I heard that Sauce had a good game, so maybe he was just shutting down like one side of the field. I know they're trying to onboard a new number 1 cornerback onto a defense. That's got to be difficult. But man, I mean, Michael Penix completed 43% of his passes. Just putrid.
I don't know how the coaching staff doesn't get fired after this year. Honestly,
I agree 100%. The only thing that I think could save Michael Penix right now would be like a new offensive-minded head coach.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. Michael Penix isn't losing his job. We have to remind ourselves this is his first season. I mean, I'm just
saying that's what he needs, clearly.
Yes. 100%. 100%. He needs a refresh. He needs a rebrand. He needs Kirk Cousins off of his back. He needs a lot. He needs I mean, look at this comparison. 32 carries for Jonathan Taylor, 17 for Bijan. Where was the point of emphasis for the Colts? Running the football. Where was it with the Atlanta Falcons? Maybe just play defense. I don't know, because their offense is
It was a big Algier game. They basically split with Algier and Bijan, and both of them had success running the ball, not like Jonathan Taylor levels of success, but yeah, no, it was a weird one. It usually is over there. So
Yes. Yeah. At least they got a good game. At least the Berlin, the Germans got
great
a
game.
great game, because the overseas games have not been this entertaining. So props to these two teams at least going to overtime. But you knew once it went into overtime, which I don't know if you caught this, was a weird caveat. The official gave the Colts the call of the coin toss, and you can see the ref next to him like tapping him like, no, don't do that, and they gave it to him anyway. And then they went to a commercial break, and then come to find out, obviously the Falcons are the away team. They call the coin flip, and they won the coin flip, so they get the ball first. They don't do anything with it, obviously, and then you knew once, if they didn't go score, the Colts were just going to run it down their throat and win the game.
That's nuts. Yeah, because you don't know which team's the away team when they're both
not in
their home
exactly.
country. That's super funny. Geez, yeah. And you saw Daniel Jones; his mouth was bleeding a bunch.
Oh my gosh, dude! It looked like he had lipstick. Marissa goes, "What is going on with his mouth?" And his entire mouth just completely covered with red blood.
Such a shame. Like I feel like, it would have been just such a badass moment if it didn't look like lipstick, like honestly, like he's fighting through the pain. He's like getting hit in the face, and he's leading his team to victory. He probably thinks he looks badass, and then he just didn't. I mean, we all knew like how heroic that moment was. Next game that I want to talk about might surprise you, but I think it's got the most talking points of any game this week. It's the Giants giving another W to the Chicago Bears. This game had so much going on. Jackson Dart was out of his mind. The player of my start of the week. Out of his mind. He's running so much. That's why it was my start of the week. And it eventually caught up to him because he got a concussion. And then he had to leave the game. Russell Wilson comes back in, does pretty much nothing. And then suddenly the Bears just come to life. And Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, it's all just clicking, and they come back. And I mean, you think about the crazy leads that the Giants have blown this year. There was it one of your, I think it was an honorable mention in your top 5 games of the year against the Cowboys that went to overtime that the Giants eventually blew.
Mm-hmm.
And then they blew a lead to Bo Nix and the Broncos, gave up like the most points in a quarter. And now this. And it was like, no wonder Brian Daboll gets fired after this. So there's just so much to talk about here, Andy. I mean, tell me your reaction to the game, to the news that Daboll was out.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's start with the Chicago Bears. We got to mention this side of the whole thing. DeAndre Swift is like going through a personal groin injury prior to the game. DJ Moore gets hurt early. Colston Loveland coming on. Caleb Williams. Like it's snowing in Chicago.
Oh yeah, it was a snow game.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on. And then on the New York side, oh my gosh, just Jackson Dart running in 2 touchdowns. Like that's just so huge for your quarterback. Darius Slayton making like these Odell Beckham one-handed catches on the sideline. And then the Giants defense just collapses when you can't have them collapse in the most important moments of the fourth quarter. Caleb Williams puts on the Superman cape and just says, if I can't pass it to you guys, I'm just going to go do it myself. And he just runs. I mean, 50 plus yards for Caleb Williams, 63 to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the type of Caleb Williams that you hoped for. This is, as a head coaching staff for the Giants, this is what you hope for when you trade up in the first round to go get Jackson Dart. Obviously not the concussion side, but everything else about him. This team showed so much promise with him and Cam Scattaboo, and for Daboll to be fired, I'm telling Marissa this in the car, how sad, because he finally gets his quarterback, and then he doesn't even get to make it to the end of the year with said quarterback. He doesn't even get to start his said quarterback at the beginning of the year. So he got even less time. And it just sucks that Dayball gets fired because of all the history of the Giants and everything leading up to this point. But honestly, I felt like this was a really early firing. Let's just see till the end of the year how this goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah. When it comes to the firing, I mean, I'm of two minds because to your point, he was dealt such a difficult hand, and it looked so good, like with Jackson Dart. And keep in mind, no Malik Neighbors. Like, he tore his ACL weeks ago, and Cam Scatterboo went down. So it's like this offense looked so good, and it could have been even better if like Dart and Neighbors and Scatterboo were all like on the field for 4 quarters. And so it's like doesn't feel, it's like it's not really Daboll's fault. But at the same time, let me hit you with this stat, and you tell me whether or not you're surprised this coach got fired. With this loss, the Giants have now started 2-8 for the 3rd year in a row.
Oh, that's so bad. Ooh, that gives me shivers down my back bad.
Dude, your season's over at the beginning of November for 3 years in a row.
Yeah, exactly. We knew he was on the hot seat coming into the year. Yeah. We shouldn't really be surprised by this news. I think it stings even more the fact that there was so much potential with this offense, and they still decided to let him go.
For the Bears side, I want to throw out this stat, and then maybe we can move on. But the Bears the Bears won 6 of their last 7 games. They're now 6-3. The record of the Bears' last 7 opponents combined is 19 wins, 46 losses.
Ooh.
The record of the Bears' next 7 opponents, 34 wins, 28 losses.
Okay.
So they've been playing cupcakes, and they're not going to be playing very many cupcakes here coming up. So it should be interesting. It feels like it's headed towards like a 9-8 type year. But they're 6-3 right now, and I mean, the way that they pull out these wins, it feels like nothing's really happening like it's supposed to, but it works out. It's like Ben Johnson draws up a play, and then a bunch of crap happens, and then the Bears finish with more points than the other crappy team. But I mean, they're 6-3, so it's like you can't really say a whole lot.
True. I'm looking at the remaining of their schedule, and you're right. I really only see 2, maybe 3 wins with how the 49ers look at the end of the year. But, I mean, this would have been an interesting team to bet on the over-under at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the preseason. What a roller coaster for Bears fans as a whole.
There's just too much history of the Bears letting us down, right? I think we all like Ben Johnson, but it's just not going according to plan, which is interesting because it's like, what if it does start going according to plan? Like, Rome Odunze had 0 catches last week. DJ Moore has 0 catches this week. So it's like, it's not really working, but it's working. How about I flip this over to you and you talk about the New England Patriots and Drake May. Decisive victory over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, decisive, but this is one thing I've spoken about is the great teams find a way how to score every single quarter. They scored 7 points every single quarter. They got 1 touchdown, and that was enough to beat Tampa Bay, which is hard to do, I think, especially in Tampa Bay. They're coming off a bye. The Patriots with Drake May, I mean, look, he may not look pretty the entire game. He may not look pretty the entire half, but him and this team are finding ways to get wins, and it's a combination of the defense, it's a combination of the rookies. I think the coaching staff, for whatever reason, has just been like hoarding the talent of these rookies. We got to keep them close to the chest. And now just so many injuries or just not enough production has happened to where they're like, okay, we'll start like leaking out a little bit. We'll start showing what we really got. And look at that. Kyle Williams hits a crazy touchdown. Travion Henderson, crazy, just breakaway speeds. 2, yes, exactly, yes. And they don't even need the tight ends. They don't even need Stephon Diggs. And what's so cool about the Patriots in my mind is 1 week it's Demario Douglas. 1 week it's Stephon Diggs. This week it was Trayvon Henderson. Like
Mac Hollins had 100 yards.
Mac Hollins, exactly. Did we even remember that he was on this team? I didn't. Like, it's so cool that everybody can contribute from week to week, and they're not heavily reliant on one specific player.
Totally. No, yeah, you just basically read from my notes for the game. So yeah, I was just going to talk about the explosive plays from the rookies. You're absolutely right. Just great drafting. That was a loaded QB class, and a lot of people thought they settled for like the third best quarterback when they took Drake May, and they had a lot of offers of other teams trying to move up. A lot of other teams would have fumbled that, and I don't think the Patriots did. I'm not ready to like crown Drake May, but like, boy, they're doing something right. Travion Henderson, Kyle Williams, all these other young players, especially on the defense. Just props to them. Bucks, look, they're missing a bunch of top playmakers. We thought Bucky Irving would be back for this game, and he's not. Like, he maybe not even close. We really don't know. Sean Tucker looked all right, but I mean, it just felt like Baker was being asked to do too much. They scored a garbage time touchdown to make this game look closer on paper than it really was.
Okay.
Tez Johnson got his second touchdown of the game with 30 seconds left. So
gotcha.
Patriots just kind of, and it was on the back of explosive plays, but it's not fluky when it's happening 3 times. It's like, hey, Bucks, tackle somebody,
Yeah. I just saw the highlights of this game, so I would be curious to go see how the defenses played against one another, and what was really the big flaw when it came to Tampa Bay, because maybe they just couldn't run the ball well enough. They couldn't control the clock. It looks like Baker only got sacked twice. I mean, he didn't throw an interception, 0 fumbles. I don't know. I'd be curious to go back and watch this one and see what went wrong for Tampa Bay, because they can't make many more of these mistakes going forward. They can't lose these types of games moving forward, or else the rug is going to slip from underneath them.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd be too scared of like the Panthers or the Falcons coming up and challenging for the division, but in a loaded NFC, it's getting pretty easy to forget about the Bucks when we talk about contenders.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Yeah.
Elsewhere, the LA Rams, speaking of NFC contenders, they put up 42 points on the 49ers. One more touchdown, and they would have put a 49er on the 49ers.
Oh, that would have been great.
I got lots of notes for this game. It was just wild. I mean, the Rams dominated this game. They couldn't be stopped, and they dominated mostly with tight ends. Andy, the top 2 Rams pass catchers in this game were Puka and Devontae Adams, obviously, but the next 4 were all tight ends. They ran 13 personnel, which is like 1 running back, 3 tight ends, most of the game, and they got 4 tight ends involved in the passing game, as well as obviously the blocking game. And they were just bigger and stronger than this depleted 49ers defense. And the craziest part is that Mac Jones actually had a pretty great game.
Yeah, well, he had a pretty great game towards the end of it. It was not looking so great in the first half for the 49ers, and I think that's the struggle part of it all, and that's what we're seeing similar to the Seahawks, is if you let the Rams or the Seahawks dominate in the first half, good luck catching up, because they don't let off the gas. And the Rams are very similar to the Seahawks in the manner of the tight ends. You put so much focus and energy on Puka and Devontae Adams that you eventually start double teaming, or you initially start doing that, and then he hits Terrence Ferguson for a 32-yarder or something, right? Or Davis Allen down the sideline, and you're like, oh crap, okay, now I gotta adjust to these guys. And then that opens up Puka and Devontae Adams some more, right? And then the goal line, Devontae Adams and Matthew Stafford on the goal line. I mean, we thought Aaron Rodgers and Devontae was special, but I feel like this is another level. Maybe we just haven't seen it like this in a while and we just kind of forgot. But man, this is just so fun to see those two guys throw it on the 2-yard line. They don't even need to run. They're like, we'll just throw a little, just do a little route, do whatever you want to do, Devontae, and I'll just make sure you get the ball. That's basically what their offense is when it comes to the 5 or less yard line.
Until teams start double teaming Devontae Adams at the goal line. It's like, one-on-one with like one of the most crafty and also one of the biggest bodied receivers in the game, like most experienced. He's done this for years with Rodgers at the goal line back in Green Bay, and now he's finally, he messed around and moved around the league, and now he's finally back with a veteran QB at the top of his powers. So, it makes total sense, and Mac Jones' stat line looks great, but you're right. It's good to point out that like it's easy to kind of stuff the stat sheet in the second half when you have to throw to catch up, and the opponent's defense is kind of just letting you have whatever underneath, just pretty crazy. And it is setting up a heck of a showdown next week.
Ooh,
Seahawks Rams.
Let's go.
Last game that I feel like we need to talk about, unless you have another one, and I don't really have any notes for this. Bills got spanked by the Dolphins. What?
Yeah, the Bills are becoming very inconsistent, and it's really frustrating. I can't imagine how frustrating that is for fantasy football players watching James Cook not do anything, watching Josh Allen really struggle to move the ball, and then the next week they look like a top 5 team in the league, as they should. It's a divisional game. It's kind of one of those ones where, hey, anything can happen. These teams know each other very well. The Dolphins have a little bit new spark, a little bit new energy with new motivation with the GM getting fired, trading away a couple players. They're like, hey, we can still prove we can do something. The Bills probably just felt like this team's trash. We don't need to really do much. And then they got kicked in the mouth for it.
Yeah, it was crazy. Turnovers were huge. It looked like the Bills had a couple drives all the way down the field, and then it would be like Josh Allen would throw an interception in the end zone, or someone would fumble the ball away. It's just like, oh, come on. Devon Achane, 172 rushing yards. Hard to get back into a game when the other team just runs the clock out. You can't stop it. He had a couple breakaway runs, but also just a lot of like 6, 7, 8, 9-yard runs that was just chain moving runs. So,
right.
Man, super frustrating.
I do want to talk about your thoughts on the Packers moving forward, because I feel like they need a new play caller there. The Packers lose 7-10 against the Eagles on Monday Night Football. The score was 3-0 going into the fourth quarter. No touchdowns. Very boring game. Very terrible game. Very defensive minded game. And the Packers offense, yes, okay, they lose Tucker Kraft. Yes, they don't have their first round draft pick, Golden, and Jaron Reed is still hurt. But man, this team just fell so flat. And they lost to the Panthers by 3 last week at home, and then they lose to the Eagles by 3 at home. Like, what is this team doing? What do they need to do to get back up to speed moving forward?
Yeah, I just have so much respect for the Eagles defense. I mean, the loss against the Panthers was way worse. Like, this was way less excusable. Like, at least I could say this was a weird, defense game. But yeah, I really don't know. Jordan Love is just, what did I say last week? I said he would be referred to as like a gunslinger in the 90s. And now it's just like, that's not really tolerated. Like, defenses won't let you get away with that. If you take risks, especially against a good defense, like it's just not going to work out. Like, defenses are too fast, they're too smart, and I'm waiting for Jordan Love to like change his game a little bit and figure out how else he can win. We're not seeing it at all. It's just dump offs and incomplete passes, it feels like. I think that's a wild take that it is the head coach's fault. But I guess we'll see.
That's where I'm at. I mean, they score 35 points against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jordan Love throws for over 300 yards, and then the next 2 weeks, like maybe it's just a lull, maybe it's just a little slump, and they're going to figure out how to get out of it. But it looks real bad, especially when it's on prime time.
The TEC, Team Elimination Challenge. This is after week 10, which means that we have eliminated 9 teams so far from playoff contention. You'll see them on the screen. Where do we go next, Andy?
I don't know. I thought long and hard about this one. Cincinnati's not looking that great. Yeah, I don't know. Jacksonville, I know they're in the playoff picture right now, but they look like they're hitting a slump. The Panthers losing to the Saints, that's not good. But ultimately, the Falcons only having 3 wins, they have to fight. It doesn't matter who's going to take second place in the NFC South, but the fact that they're getting further and further away from that second place, and they're supposed to be, they're not supposed to be that low. They're supposed to be better than Panthers and the Saints and compete with Tampa Bay this year. I feel like it's just a disappointment. You're 3-6. The chances of you even getting to second place, let alone first place in this division, are just so far away from you. And one thing that really led me to pick them this week was their point differential. They have, out of all the teams that we eliminated, they're the next biggest gap. They have a negative 41 point differential at this point in the season, and that is just awful.
Those are all great points. That point differential is not as bad as the team that's in the top contention for me, which is the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me just share some stats. So, the Falcons, I knew you were going to bring up the Falcons, and you're right to do so. I mean, they're 3-6, so it's the clock's ticking.
So is Cincy.
Yep, they're both 3-6. The Falcons, they lost by 1 to the Patriots, and then they just took the Colts to overtime.
Okay.
Their next 3 opponents, you talked about how they're third in their division. Well, their next game this coming week, they host the Panthers. So what better way to get off the schneid and show that you are not a bottom feeder than to take on that team that's right above you in the standings in your building. The Falcons are favored in that game. And then their next 2 opponents after that are the Saints and the Jets. So this team has a real shot, and they probably won't because they're the Falcons, but there's a very clear path to 6-6. Contrast that with the Bengals, who are 3-6. Their next 3 opponents, they have to go into Pittsburgh this coming week, and then it's the Patriots and the Ravens. And Joe Burrow said that he hopes to be back for that game against the Ravens. That's going to be a Thanksgiving game in prime time. Joe Burrow, making his triumphant return. That would be awesome. It also seems a little optimistic, maybe a little too optimistic. I don't know. I don't know enough about his toe to say, but there's conflicting reports there. But my point is that even if Joe Burrow comes back, it might be too late. And I mean, Burrow's not going to fix that defense.
Yes, you're right. Burrow isn't going to fix that defense. They might have a new little set of juice, but man, you're right. Steelers, Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Ravens. Those are probably all losses, to be quite honest. And then this team, then we're like, how did we not eliminate this team earlier? So, you make me wonder on this one. Yeah, I think the only thing that holding me back is the fact that the NFC is so stacked, and the Falcons would have to win their division to get a playoff spot at this point, where the Bengals could kind of sneak in, because honestly, I don't trust anybody in the AFC wildcard except for the Chiefs.
I mean, yeah, there's no division more wide open than the AFC North.
All right. We're going to go with the Bengals. I agree.
We're going Bengals. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're done.
See ya.
Next up, we are revisiting my MVP ladder. All right, I got my top 5 MVP candidates, And the little segment on the segment was going to be the Offensive Player of the Year, but Jonathan Taylor has that wrapped up in a nice little package with a bow, and it's already under the Christmas tree, just waiting for him to open. It's got his name on it. It's done. Okay? And no, he's not on this list because skilled position players do not win the MVP. They haven't for like over 10 years. Saquon Barkley got 2,000 rushing yards last year, and he wasn't even close. So missed me with that. Okay, all you hot take artists, you can have your little moment. All right,
catch me outside.
Catch me outside. These are only for real MVP candidates,
yes,
and I'm gonna start off with number 5. The GM of the Colts, not the GM, the owner of the Colts, Carly Gordon is my number 5 MVP candidate.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do with the Colts, man. The Colts are like the best team in the league. And Daniel Jones, he just keeps turning the ball over. He had like the worst game of the last couple years 2 weeks ago. And then this week, he almost loses to the Falcons. I think he had 2 more turnovers. So, yeah, I got to drop Daniel Jones off the list. Jonathan Taylor, he's got Offensive Player of the Year. And I just look around this team, and it was just like they were so mid for years. And it's like, what changed? Because suddenly they're just like absolute top of the pile. And it's a change in ownership. It's a change at the top. It's a change in accountability. It's a change in culture. And yeah, I mean, say what you will. I don't think Carly Gordon's a Nepo baby. I mean, she just inherited an NFL team and billions of dollars. Does that make you a Nepo baby? I don't know. Put some respect on her name. Give her the MVP trophy for women. Number 4, I wanted to just drop him off the ladder completely after he got me eliminated from my NFL survivor pool.
Oh, okay.
But I gotta keep Josh Allen in there. This was a horrible loss against the Dolphins, but the week before this, let's remember he beat Patrick Mahomes, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I gotta keep him on the list. I got him here at 4. There's some room to go up. He's got to keep showing it, because yeah, that game last week was bad.
Okay.
Number 3. He was on this list, then he was off the list. I'm putting him back on. It's Jared Goff. Okay, he leads the league in passer rating. The Lions have the second highest scoring offense in the league, second to, of course, the Colts. But unlike the Colts, the Lions are in a division full of good defenses. So I just have a ton of respect for Jared Goff and what he's doing. Second in the league in passing touchdowns. Give me Jared Goff at number 3. Number 2. Andy, you've been waiting a long time. Here he is. Drake May.
Oh, my gosh.
It's not good enough? All right. Well, hey, Drake May, he's number 1 in the hearts of half of the hosts of the Fantasy Flow podcast. He's number 1 in a lot of like advanced analytics and metrics. He's won 7 straight games, and he finally just beat a really good team to back everything up. So huge shout out, Drake May. I got him here at number 2.
Okay. All right.
Number 1. You know him, you love him. It's Bo Nix. No, I'm just kidding. it's Matthew Stafford. I got Matthew Stafford at number 1. He leads the NFL in passing touchdowns by like a lot. It's like 4 or 5. And yeah, dude's just balling. His team's 7-2. He ticks all the boxes that I was talking about in the offseason for what makes an MVP. He's got the team record, he's got the passing touchdowns, and he's being safe with the ball too, both him and Jared Goff. And Drake May. I mean, it's a really good year for quarterbacks. Efficiency, I mean, we got some great guys off the list. Baker Mayfield fell off the list. Patrick Mahomes fell off the list. Sam Darnold, I haven't even mentioned him yet. Justin Herbert. Like there's a ton of guys who are in it.
Yes. I think this, it's always November. It's always how you do in November and December determines your season. A lot of us forget how you play in the first half. And so I feel like this is really where these conversations start to take a lot of weight. and how you finish the year really depends on how you're viewed across the league. I totally agree with Matthew Stafford as number one. I'm surprised you don't have Sam Darnold in there in that conversation, and I'm kind of surprised you don't have Patrick Mahomes. That I would kind of take Josh Allen out at this point, if I'm being honest. But I don't know if I necessarily would throw Sam Darnold in either, because it's as we mentioned, it's the whole team effort, not so much just a Sam Darnold. So I love your first two, but man, to not throw Patrick Mahomes in there, that is just wild to have that conversation, that he is not in the MVP conversation quite yet.
Look, he if we were playing fantasy football, he'd be number one. He's doing great. He's putting up numbers, but I mean, his team is 5-4, and we do this segment every other week, so I'm taking in information like 2 weeks at a time.
Yes.
And both Patrick Mahomes and Baker Mayfield, they had a bye and they lost the one game that they played. So
good point.
It's like, okay, the last 2 weeks you got 0 dubs. Like,
yeah, that's true.
And
that's
with
true.
so many great candidates.
Yes. I think Matthew Stafford will end up winning it for how well he's doing, as well as the storyline. The NFL loves to go into their cards and pull out the storyline card and add it to the flavor of the NFL that coming year. And for him to never be voted MVP or get a single vote, and then for him to win it, it would be a great story.
A lot of per game stats, there's another name that comes up at the top of some of these lists, but I'm not going to say it.
Sure. Okay. Save it.
I'm just going to leave it. It's time to look forward to week 11. And this is another banger, folks. Lots of good games. Andy, take it away.
Oh my gosh, man, what a setup this week is going to be. First off, in the morning, we have Buccaneers and the Bills. Buccaneers are traveling to Buffalo. They just lost to the Patriots at home. Now they have to travel up to maybe snow. I'm looking at the weather. It says 42 degrees. That's probably not cold enough for some snow, but man, good luck to the Buccaneers. I just said how they cannot be dropping these games if they want to contend in the playoffs and have their spot solidified. This is a must win for the Buccaneers, way more than I think for the Bills. What do you think on that?
Well, boy, I mean, I don't know, because the Bills are like a wild card team with how successful the Patriots have been. So the Bills take advantage of this home field, because if you don't, you might not get it in January. So I think it's a huge game for both teams. I mean, it's such a shame that the Bucs are missing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You just know they're not at 100%, and that's affecting them. Bucky Irving's not going to play. So it's just, man, how much can Baker Mayfield do, and how much can this Bucs defense limit the freak of nature that is Josh Allen? An absolute banger, and I can't believe it's in the morning window. I guess that's just an East Coast thing, but this is delicious for us 10 a.m. folks.
Yes, gotta love that part. Another great 10 a.m. game, Bears versus Vikings. We have J.J. McCarthy going against Caleb Williams. I think this is going to be a make or break game for J.J. McCarthy. If he can win and stay in contention in the playoffs in the NFC North, and if the Bears can continue to keep on rolling the way they've been rolling, J.J. McCarthy has just... Again, he's basically a rookie, so he's going to look inconsistent. But for some reason, Minnesota is favored this game, and that is absolutely wild to me.
Huge TEC implications, perhaps, for the Vikings in this game. Trying to get out of fourth place in that competitive division. That is a surprising line, but it's just been so chaotic for the Bears how their wins have come. And the Vikings, they're just kind of a no-nonsense team. I don't see them giving games away too often. But, we'll see.
Another 10 a.m. Here we go. Chargers versus Jaguars. Both teams are currently in the playoff picture. It's in Florida. It's in Jacksonville. That means LA Chargers have to fly across the country, play a 10 a.m. game. Well, a 1 p.m. in their mind, but 10 a.m. What they're used to. I always think that's an underlying factor that a lot of us don't necessarily talk about, but Chargers can look bad all 3 quarters and then just pull something out of their you-know-what in the fourth, and they're going to win this game. I don't have very much faith in the Jaguars, the coaching staff, the decision-making. They just lose Travis Hunter for the year, which is just abysmal for how much you paid for this guy, just for him to basically play. I think he played like 4 games the whole year, 4 or 5 games. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. Give me the Chargers here all day.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really talk about the Chargers Steelers too much, but I was really worried about the Chargers offense without Joe Alt, and they looked just fine. They looked just fine against what I thought was a still scary Steelers defense. So yeah, no, I'm not really scared of the Jaguars either. I called them frauds when they were like 5-1, and that's been like my best take of the year. They just totally gave one away to the Texans, a division rival, and so yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think there's some better games though as we move into the schedule.
I'm just climbing up the ladder here. The best one of the whole week, Rams Seahawks, baby. I mean, this is what all of us NFL fans hope for at this time of the year in November. 2 top teams going at it to determine playoff implications, to determine division leading implications, the number 1 overall spot in the conference, getting that bye week implications.
Yep.
Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, man, Sean McVay. I mean, like, the Rams have been the thorn in the Seahawks side for years. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. The Rams have just gotten so good, and the Seahawks have just been staying this steady constant, and it's just this like gut punch every time we play them. I can't wait for this match. I'm going to be sitting next to some Rams fans. I'm going to be sitting next to some Seahawks fans. I'm going to get loud in front of that TV. I am hyped for this one.
Boy, yeah, Cooper Kupp revenge game. They replaced him with Devontae Adams, and now he gets to go back to SoFi. Man, I said earlier that I like the Seahawks' chances against pretty much anybody, but this scares me. Because this is a divisional opponent on the road against an opponent who's had our number for years. The Seahawks have a chance to do something pretty freaking cool and erase a lot of narratives, really plant their flag and say, hey, this Mike McDonald, new regime, new quarterback, new everything. Like, this is not the Seahawks you knew. Like, we're here and we're number 1. That's what they have the chance to do. I don't know that I love their chances because this is just it's probably the most difficult opponent right now. I mean, every power rankings that's out there has like the Rams at 1 or 2. So yeah, exactly. So
yeah,
yeah, that's a great one.
That's a hyped one. And then we still have Chiefs Broncos in the afternoon as well. We haven't even hit we haven't even hit prime time yet. Chiefs Broncos in Mile High. Chiefs coming off of a bye. Broncos coming off like the worst game we've ever watched with them barely beating the Raiders. Give me the Chiefs. I don't know. I honestly, the matchup on the screen looks a lot more enticing than how I actually feel about it. What do you say?
Yeah, Broncos probably the worst game that we've seen from them in a long time. Yet they've won 7 in a row. So I don't know how to square that. Yeah, I placed a bet in the offseason for Bo Nix to win MVP, and if you told me that they were like 8-2, that they had the best record in football, I would be bouncing off the walls. But that's just not how it looks. It looks like it looked on Thursday, more or less. It looks bad. It looks like nothing's quite working right, and their defense is probably the best in the league, right there with the Seahawks. But man, I mean, you just never want to bet against Patrick Mahomes, but the Chiefs have found a way to lose almost half their games this year, and this is in
Right.
Denver. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. I think we should hold off on picking these games for our Fantasy Flow face-off.
Might
Might come
okay.
up. You don't know.
Little insight there. All right. And then to end the Sunday slate, Lions versus Eagles. Both teams coming off pretty big wins. Lions are 6-3. Eagles are 7-2. It's going to be in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is favored by 2.5. This is a coin flip game. This is going to be high power. Hopefully, it's not a snooze fest like we just saw with the Eagles and Packers. I'm really excited to see what Dan Campbell can pull up out of his spectacles and his big menu of a play sheet. This should be entertaining. I'm emphasizing should be.
I don't know about the Eagles offense going up against the Lions defense, but the Lions offense going up against the Eagles defense, that is going to be must-watch TV because that is good on good. And unlike the Packers, I trust that the Lions are going to get creative. They're going to go for it on fourth down, and it's going to be entertaining as heck.
I sure hope so. I sure hope it's not a lot of tush-push, defensive heavy.
There'll be tush pushes.
Yes.
The pushes will get pushed, but
yes.
It should be a good
of course. Yes.
All right. Well, that takes us to the fantasy football advice portion of the show. Speaking of week 11, Andy, give me a player that you are flowing into your lineup this week.
All right. We just mentioned how crappy the Cincinnati Bengals are. We just mentioned how much they probably will not make the playoffs. But guess who their quarterback is? It's old man Joe Flacco. I'm grabbing him off the waivers. I'm putting him in my starting lineup against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. This guy seems way better than Aaron Rodgers does right now. And yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is catching a stray for.
Oh my gosh! Some of those clips you see of Aaron Rodgers getting tackled by Khalil Mack or by any other of the Chargers, and his helmet's just like halfway off his face. That's embarrassing. I don't think the Steelers will be able to compete in this game. And give me Joe Flacco.
The way Aaron Rodgers is quarterbacking, when he's under pressure, he kind of has this maybe like an attitude of like some sort of royalty where he's like, do you know who I am? And he just gets offended and pissed off. And versus when Joe Flacco, he's under pressure, he's getting sacked and stuff. He just takes it on the chin and he gets right back up and then he throws a touchdown. It's like last 3 games for Joe Flacco, he's been top 8 in quarterback scoring. So.
Yes. 20 plus points. It's almost a guarantee at this point.
Coming off a bye week, there's a high probability that Joe Flacco is available to pick up if you need a quarterback, and I know that. I had those stats off the top of the dome. No, I didn't. They're in my notes because you stole my quarterback flow in. So we are in lockstep so far.
Let's go.
I'm flowing in a running back, and just to remind the audience, we're trying to give you advice, actionable advice of guys that you're not sure whether or not you should start them. I'm here to tell you to start R.J. Harvey, running back for the Broncos. J.K. Dobbins sounds like he's going to miss this game. Yes, it's a scary opponent against the Chiefs, but Harvey's going to have that backfield mostly to himself. The other running back is like Tyler Beatty, I think, like some sort of undrafted washout from the Ravens. It's going to be R.J. Harvey's game. He's already broken out. He's shown that he can rip off huge plays, and I want to see what it looks like with a full workload. I don't want to see what it looks like with him on my bench. I want to experience that with him in my lineup.
I wrote his name down in my flow in, and then I crossed him out, and I put him in my flow out.
What?
I'm nervous. This Chiefs, I think the under is going to happen. This Chiefs Broncos game, I'm nervous to go against the Chiefs, especially when my player is on the low offense of the Broncos. Man, that's a tough one in my opinion. I started on where you're at and I ended on the dark side.
Fair enough. I mean, maybe it's so bad that they have to pass a lot and he gets it in the passing game. I just think it's more of a volume play.
It is, and he's talented. He's not. It would be the breakout game. I totally get it. I'm very hesitant. I'm gonna do my classic thing, and I'm gonna go chase the points. It didn't work out so well with DJ Moore last week when him and Rome decided to just switch roles and say, "You got 0 last week. I'll take 0 this week. It's fine." I'm gonna go with Parker Washington with the Jaguars facing the Chargers. I think he gets. If you check your league settings, if you get points for kick return, punt return, yards, I think he's doing that on the he's catching balls in the corner of the end zone. He's a vital part of this offense with an unknown situation with Brian Thomas being out. Travis Hunter done for the year, and they might get Hunter Long back for their tight end this week, but even then he's going to be just coming back. I think Parker Washington is a great choice for this offense, and if you need to plug a flex play for the bye weeks, whatever it may be, he's your guy.
That's a great pull because, no Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas Jr. is not that guy. No, I'm not flowing him out this week, but I easily could. Okay, so, boy, I've been on a little bit of a heater lately, to kind of toot my own horn for a second. What did I predict? Stephon Diggs' first touchdown of the season 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago was Marvin Harrison scoring a touchdown, having a big game. Last week, my touchdown guarantee was David Montgomery, and he found the end zone. It was a 2-point conversion, but that counts, obviously. And this week, I'm kind of torn between two guys, and I definitely just jinxed myself. But I'm going to go Christian Watson against the Giants.
Wow.
Much maligned Christian Watson. Do you trust it? No. But look, we already talked about all the Packers receivers who are going down. I mean, they're missing their tight end. They're missing their top 2 wide receivers. Christian Watson is back. He's healthy, and you got to just stay water. You got to just go with the flow, go with the changing of the guard. Christian Watson's their new wide receiver 1, if not for a couple weeks. And it's a good matchup against the Giants, who are going to be without Jackson Dart. We talked about how that Packers offense is in rough shape. I think there's going to be a big play from Christian Watson this week.
Mm. I love it. Dobbs also got hurt during this past game as well.
Thank you.
So
that was
they had to go down to Bo Melton, Devontae Wicks, whatever his first name, Wicks. Luke Musgrave is obviously not figured out the offense quite yet, and they're gonna need some plays on the outside. And I hate that we're mentioning Christian Watson's name on this, but I gotta respect it. I gotta somewhat agree with you.
And I real quick, I'm gonna throw up the other name that's maybe even worse. Trey Tucker, receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, going up against the Cowboys defense, probably one of the worst defenses in football. Trey Tucker with no Jacoby Myers.
Mm-hmm.
Does that interest you anymore?
Yeah. Oh, that interests me. Yeah, I have no problem with picking that name. It just depends on how Geno Smith will act, if he will act accordingly in this game. But
Geno's gonna be bad. But but Trey Tucker's the number 1 receiver. So
right, exactly. I agree. No, I like that pick a lot. I almost put Trey Tucker in here.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go with Dalton Schultz real quick, tight end for the Houston Texans. Look, it's not a sexy pick. It's not a player that you hoped is in your starting lineup, but look at his last couple games. Check the receiving. It doesn't matter if it's CJ Stroud or if it's David Mills. Give me Dalton Schultz. He's getting the volume, he's getting the catches, and he may even hit the end zone. He may even hit pay dirt. I'm sticking with this guy.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even realize that he was doing work out here. 7 catches, enough. Touchdown.
Yeah, it's just enough to make you happy.
Well, if you flow players into your lineup, you got to flow players out of your lineup. So we got some players here that we are not so hot on for Week 11. I'm taking the obvious pick, going with Patrick Mahomes. I am putting him on the bench because he's going into Denver. It's tough though because he is coming off a bye, and yeah, the Andy Reid off a bye, he's at a stellar record. But yeah, this is just like the worst matchup for fantasy
Yeah.
quarterbacks.
Yeah. Denver defense is scary good. They will sack the quarterback. They will make sure you don't get very many yards when you run the football. And their secondary is fast and flying all over the place. I actually wrote Patrick Mahomes down as my flow out quarterback as well. I'm going to go with DK Metcalf, the wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, Aaron Rodgers is just bad. It's just ugly. And he missed at least 3 passes to either DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, or his tight end that were overthrown, underthrown, or just it just didn't make any sense. They obviously don't have the connection that they need to win these games. And the Bengals, yes, the defense is bad. You should be flowing in every player against the Bengals defense. I totally understand. Unless DK hits pay dirt, this is a bad fantasy play. And and that's just been the entire season with these two.
Yeah, DK Metcalf's been hurting me in the one league where I have him, and I don't know what to do. So yeah, maybe I need to take some of your advice. Player that I am looking to flow out of my lineup this week from the running back position. I don't like it. You won't like it if you got him on your team, but let's be real. Derrick Henry is not a good play this week.
Mm-hmm.
He has been doing poorly. He's touchdown dependent, and his last game against the Browns, he had 11 carries for 23 yards. And now he plays the Browns in Cleveland, in the dog pound. I just don't love that setup.
I agree. I've been like low key trying to buy Derrick Henry on the low, and people are sticking with him. And it's I get it because I see the potential, but at the same time, every week I'm like, man, I'm glad I didn't trade for him. But then by Wednesday or Thursday, I'm like, man, I got to get Derrick Henry on my team.
The price is going lower. You got to buy low.
He's got to break out eventually, but it's just not. It's not working out for him. And now with Lamar back, they don't need Derrick Henry as much. The Ravens, they have an interesting schedule coming up. They got the Browns, they got the Jets. Yes, they play the Bengals twice, and then they play the Steelers, the Patriots. It's a lot of great defenses out there. Jets are still a good defense, even with them being sellers during the trades. I'm nervous for Derrick Henry as a fantasy player moving forward.
Derrick Henry got 20 carries on Sunday, 3 receptions. And he was like lucky to get 10 fantasy points. Like he needs to fall in the end zone. And I don't know. That's just not guaranteed, especially with Mark Andrews coming back. Mark Andrews has been like a touchdown hog in the red zone. He's been like their Devontae Adams, so.
Right.
Last player I'm flowing out of my lineup, I got to pick a wide receiver. This was tough because there's a lot of good ones. We mentioned a number of guys that we kind of like, maybe waiver wire guys that we like. A player that I might be flowing out of my lineup, similar to DK Metcalf, it's Ted McMillan going up against the Falcons in Atlanta this week. Ted McMillan has been disappointing for fantasy because his quarterback has been disappointing for fantasy. Ted McMillan, he's only scored in 1 game, and that's insane because we're going into week 11. And he's bad for fantasy, and this is a bad matchup for fantasy. So I'm just trying to find a way to bench him.
Yeah, that's a crazy call. I understand it. If you have better options out there, you would think that would be this last game against the Saints. You would think that would be the perfect get right game for him. And 8 targets. I feel like he needs to be getting closer to 10 targets almost every single game. He's only scored once against Dallas, 2 touchdowns. That is absolutely wild. I mean, if I'm looking at his stats right now, his longest catch was for 40 yards in looks like that was week 2. Everything else is 26 or less yards as his longest reception. They're not getting him these opportunities to go make these crazy plays that we saw him make in Arizona.
Just can't throw downfield.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe the O-line can't protect Bryce Young long enough for him to throw downfield. But yeah, you need to get this guy in space, and they haven't quite accomplished that yet. So I understand it, but it's a hard pill to swallow.
All right, last segment of the show. It's the Fantasy Face-Off. This is a game picks challenge against the spread. It's me versus Andy every single week. We're both picking 3 games against the spread, and we're tracking our progress. Let's see what happened last week. I went 1-2. I was let down in a big spot by the Panthers and the Browns. I was the victim of multiple special teams touchdowns. So, yeah, thanks to the Jets and the Saints, the 2 worst teams in football, I'm 1-2. Andy, you went 2-1. So thank you for carrying us. We have gone exactly 3-3 as a show each of the last 3 weeks. My lead shrinks to just 1 correct pick on the year, which is scary because, as we know, whoever gets the fewest correct picks at the end of the year must promise an entire classroom of underprivileged third graders that they will pay for their college tuition. So you don't want that to be you, which is why you want to get these picks right, and we want to get them right for our audience. And without further ado, it's my turn to go first because you got the first pick last week, and I'm looking at these point spreads. One of them just don't make no sense, and sometimes that's a trap game, and other times you just pounce on it without overthinking it. I'm going to pounce on the 49ers, who are just 2.5-point favorites against the Cardinals. What is that line? I don't know, but I'll take it.
Yeah, that is a very weird line.
I don't care who's playing quarterback, by the way. And maybe that's a reason for it, but
well, maybe it's in Arizona, maybe because the 49ers just another one of those weirdly inconsistent teams where they look unstoppable one week and Christian McCaffrey just pops off, and then the next week they can't seem to do anything right on defense or on offense.
Yeah, but the Cardinals are not the Rams. I'm taking what happened on Sunday, and I'm just saying, hey, props to you, Rams. I'm not holding it against the 49ers. They're kind of in flux right now, Mac Jones, and yeah, I don't know. I love what I'm seeing from George Kittle. They got Jennings found the end zone. They have plenty of juice to beat the Cardinals.
Yes, I totally agree. That was not on my list. My list is going to start off with the Dallas Cowboys -3.5 against the Las Vegas Raiders. I think the Raiders are really bad. Geno doesn't really deserve to be a starting quarterback anymore, and the Cowboys are coming off a bye, and they know how to throw the football, unlike the Raiders.
I like that. I like that take. I was a little scared because of how tough the Raiders played the Broncos. But that was Thursday Night Football. Maybe that's just weird. Maybe you just throw that out.
In division, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good pick. I think it's a good pick. Good pick by you. Yeah, I'll take the Texans. What did they score? 20 points in the fourth quarter on Sunday in that comeback win against the Jags? That. Give me the Texans to cover 7.5 points on the road, but it's against the Titans.
Yeah.
Texans played the Titans week 3, and the Texans won that game 26-0.
And it would have hit the under because the over-under total is 38.5 this week with the Titans and Texans. I'm taking the under on that all the way. I totally agree. The Texans will probably win 26-10 at most. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals +5.5. I think that is a big spread for a divisional game against the Steelers. I think it's Joe Flacco versus Aaron Rodgers. Again, rematch of the diaper quarterbacks. Old man, get the cane out. But yeah, I don't like Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback right now, and I don't even know if the Bengals necessarily win, but as long as they keep it close, I win this spread pick. So that's what I'm going with.
If the Bengals, that'd be awkward because we just eliminated the Bengals in our team elimination challenge. And if the Bengals actually do beat the Steelers, then the leader of that division is going to be 500.
Oh, yikes. That's not great.
That's pretty crazy. Okay, with my third and final pick, There's a couple places that I kind of want to go. I already expressed optimism in the Packers to bounce back against the Giants, led by Russell Wilson in all likelihood. I don't think Russell Wilson's going to stay competitive, but I already have a big road favorite. So I'm going to go with a home favorite. I'm going to take the LA Rams -2.5 against the Seahawks. And this is a pure emotional hedge, okay? There's not a lot of strategy behind this pick, except that historically the Rams have had the Seahawks number. This is an emotional hedge. If the Seahawks win, I'll be thrilled to be wrong. I'll be thrilled to be wrong. But I'll also be kind of like, oh, hey, cool. I got my face-off pick right.
Oh my gosh, this guy. He takes the emotion, the fun, and he makes it too real. I don't like it. I'm going fun. We tell you to Thursday night football to stay away, to leave it alone and just enjoy the game, but not this week. Give me the Jets plus 12.5 against the Patriots. Look, it's a Thursday night game. It's going to be rough and tough. These Thursday night games have been close. These have been, for the most part, exciting games. I want to be part of it. I want to understand. I want to see the result and have it be in my benefit. Jets are not going to lose by more than 2 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns alone. Give me the Jets plus 12.5.
Wow, you're going against your boy Drake May. That's crazy.
Not against. Just not jumping fully in.
Whatever you say, bro. Yeah, no. Jets, they haven't lost in 3 weeks? They had a bye week and they won 2 games.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Good for them. Yeah, maybe they keep it close. Maybe they keep it close.
Keep it close. Keep it tight. It's going to be terrible gameplay from both teams because it's a Thursday night game. So it's not going to be a blowout as maybe Vegas says it is.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, man. I don't know. No, dude. I've been too hurt. You know, I've been too hurt. This has been a rough season. If you knew what I was going through, getting chopped from all my guillotine leagues. I'm out in the dynasty league, my work league. People are laughing at me. The Seahawks are going great, and I'll just be so thrilled to be wrong about my pick on Sunday.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'm thrilled to be right. I'm going 3 for 3.
All right, I love it. Let's both go 3 and 3. First ever 6-0.
Well, I do want you to be wrong. I do want you to be wrong. Yeah. All right, my friend.
Good luck, brother.
Good luck, brother.
All right, until next time.
Thanks, y'all.